welcome to day 35 of Project Dig. Thank you for joining. I hope you're having a good one. Project Dig is a 2D multiplayer automation survival sandbox game that I am developing here on Twitch, uploading all the VODs to YouTube so you can be able to check out any part of the development and see how things are progressing. Right now I'm working on UI. Been working on it for about a week, and we're getting close, kind of close to being done with it. So today we're going to be working on the edit label. Before we get started, I can just show you what we have so far. Hey Certus, I hate working on UI. Yeah. I don't know, it's not too bad. It seems like I have that messed up. So I did screw something up recently. I'll have to fix that. But this is the UI that we have so far. So just like various UI elements, a window, text, a stat bar thing, button, panels, icons, animated stuff. Yep. It's good. It's good. Right now I'm doing like the easy stuff for UI, so it's not so bad. I also have debug rendering. One thing that's messed up is that our text seems to be like dropping down some. I messed something up. So before I actually move forward with that, one thing I was wanting to do is just go back. Let's see, at what point did I screw things up? Okay, we'll just dash those changes, that's fine. I don't know exactly when it happened. We'll find out. So today will be a shorter day working on this UI stuff. We'll get to the edit label here soon. Once I fix this font thing I wanted to look at. But yeah, it's kind of a shorter day. Like I said, the last few days, the next few days, including today, are going to be a little different because of my friend visiting. I'll be today I'm just streaming early because I want to be able to hang out later. But I will be starting at the normal time or very close to it. I might start early the next few days. We'll see. And I'll probably only be streaming for about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day for the next few days. Just kind of taking it easy, making sure I'm available to hang out. And then next weekend I will be gone. So I'll be taking both Saturday and Sunday off. I wanted to stream, but like it's my wife's birthday and she comes first. Sorry guys, I love you, but it's my wife. Okay, so this looks right. So the font's not messed up at this point. Did I screw it up here? My shirt is like super green. So I can be an invisible head if I want, but I'm trying not to be. Smooth looking. Thanks. Thank you. I also got my glasses. These things are very, very, very orange. I wonder if I hold them up, what the camera looks like then. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of accurate. Pretty much it. These are some glasses recommended by Kyle. KL62. They block pretty much all blue light, and they're supposed to help with like sleeping. Like you wear them in the evening before you go to bed. Okay, so just waiting for this to compile. It's having to do a complete recompile, so it takes like a minute or whatever. Kind of sucks. It already takes so long. I think I need to add in like I don't know. It makes me a little sad. It's already slow. Should be faster. I think that's all the stupid templating I'm using. Okay, so it broke in this change here. These build times are absurd. Yeah, I know. It's just the templates. That's all it is. Cover up my neck. And also I had to do a complete rebuild, so that doesn't help. Whoops, I can't do that. Okay. Do it like this then. Looking for... oh. Okay, so I added the support to draw text with an offset. That seems to have broken things. TBD Gamer, welcome back. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll just slouch some. Maybe I can. There we go. It's hot in this sweater right now. Okay, so this must be it, is that I screwed something up here. This text positioning. Oh, so it would minus the reposition. That's my problem. At least for that. How about this? This should be okay. Reposition. Okay, we'll look at that. So the reposition is supposed to be subtracted. Which is currently the position. Oh. Well, maybe I should be adding instead of subtracting. If I just inverse everything, right, then it should work. No, just kidding. So that should have changed the label. text offset plus the area. So before it was doing this, and then it's the area offset and the reposition. Okay, you know what? Let's try doing this. Let's undo. And then we'll reverse these lines. And see if that fixes things. That should. So yeah, we're getting close to being done with the UI. I think we have like the edit label and then a few smaller things to fix up. Okay, so that just moved the text test all the way down to here. That's definitely wrong. Oh, that's because it's still adding. Hold up. That's my bad. Adding the offset twice. The heck? Now it's always moving it down. Okay, so maybe it wasn't the change that I made. I mean, it's not that change. Perhaps it's something else. This is just adding on to that. Weird. Label, was there something else I missed in here? Size, good text. That's it, right? That looks right. Oh, I'm dumb. No, wait, that is a label. Okay, yeah, that is a label. For a moment, just for a moment, I was thinking, okay, wait, actually, what I'm doing is wrong. But no, I think it's right. I don't know what I did. That is screwing that up now. It was definitely with this change. But our text is like being pushed down. Okay, well, I'm not sure what I did, so we'll do this the other way, which is to just discard those changes. Just try to debug it this other way. Hey, Kesu, what's up? Welcome. Okay, so what we're just gonna do is try to fix this the other way. It's at the top. So this really should just be at 0, right? The reposition. And the bottom, I think that's my problem, I believe, is that should be pushed down, right? The size Y, is that right? I don't know if that's quite right. What should this do? So if we want it to be aligned to the bottom, it really should be, I think that should actually be negative size Y. Yeah, I think that needs to be negative size Y. I probably need to play around with all these alignments. I think I only was playing with that one with top alignment. Okay, well, while that is compiling, we can get started with our edit label stuff. This is also going to be a label, which is one of the reasons why I was wanting to fix that. So edit label is basically like a chat bar where you can like type text in it and move your caret around, you know, select text, you know, do copy, paste, group, select, whatever, all that fun stuff. It's by far the most complicated UI element out of everything. It's just has so much stuff working within it. And like everything else, I am going to be... Did that pull it in? Because if it did and it's still not working, then that sucks. What the heck? Okay, I guess I need to like step into this. What is our text position? It says it's 0, 0. Offset is 122. Oh wait, how is this being set? Five, 4, 23, 10. I wonder if that is like the 4 is wrong. Yeah, that looks like it fixes it. Which is why I believe what we were trying to do before is say that... Oh, I don't know what the size Y is. I don't know. I will figure it out later. I don't really want to deal with that today. Hey, Wormius, what's up? Let's just do some other stuff for now. We'll figure it out later. Edit label. Oh, whoops. Let's make our class. Okay, so we're just copying stuff over from my previous game, called Crea. It's like the only thing that we're actually copying over. Set state. I guess, I don't know what this actually does. We'll look at what that is supposed to be doing. Okay, maybe those are custom to this set state. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah. This is supposed to be, well, I don't know about the set focus. But this is supposed to be a uint 8t now. Can overflow is selecting text. That should be Unicode. This should be Unicode. I didn't add these in because I wanted to type them in myself. Update and handle event. Okay, and then we need the draw, and I think also, yeah, we need both draw. And draw immediate, and the difference between those is that the draw can be cast, whereas draw immediate is not. Okay, that should be it for all of those. We don't need the exposed interface. Then we have a bunch of like hidden functions in here and all of the various attributes. There's a lot. I'm just gonna take all of this. And clean it up. So this is now a resource element attribute, which takes, it's templated, it takes a texture. The rest of these look good. I need to change the names, but I'm going to do that later, I think. We do need to change all these types. Vertex array. That's good. SF strings are now Unicode, which is currently just really like a type def of a standard string, but I plan to change that in the future. Oh, whoops, this needs to be UN32T. Mutable, I don't think we need that anymore. Rectangle shape is just a rectangle shape, yeah. And then this is, I believe, I don't know, I don't think I put in timer. Text group pointer. I don't know what we're going to do with that. Okay. So we have a few things here that are in the Siege namespace that we should forward declare. Specifically, we have a timer, event, and vertex array. Oh wait, I can't do that. We are using them. Never mind, we can't forward declare them. Let's include them. We have timer. Is that here, or is it in utility? I think it's in utility. Vertex array. What's the last one? Event, that's right. I think that might be in utility as well. There we go. Hey, in. Welcome, welcome. Argument list, oh, that's right. On gain focus, on loose focus. Programming in Korea. Cool. Welcome. I want to go to Korea one day. Okay, so we're working on this UI, and this needs to have a templated argument. I'm going to look at how this is being used over here. Invoke. So it doesn't take any args apparently. And text change, that takes the string. That is used a bunch. On text submit. I imagine that takes a string as well. So we have one where it's like this. Well, both of these are void. And then this one is, whoops. Got that flipped around. Void Unicode reference. Basically what they need to be. We might change that in the future. But that's basically what it should be. Cool. Yeah, so what I did yesterday, I don't know if I want to do this again. I think I might not. This is just so much code. So yesterday what I did is I copied everything and then I went function from function changing it. I don't know. I guess that makes sense. Basically, I do this and then I go to here and we'll include our UI element, or no, edit label. Paste everything in. And then it's like, hey, you have a lot of issues. I know I have issues. You don't have to mention that. And then what we can do, the nice thing about doing this is I can actually go through all of these and fix them. So like text offset, because I changed the naming scheme whenever I started this new project, and I don't do camel case anymore for the variable names. We do underscore, lowercase. It's a kind of annoying, but fortunately we have this little refactoring tool here that will rename them all for us, making it not quite so bad. By the way, you have issues. I know I do. My wife makes sure I know that. No, actually, she's good. I cannot blame my wife for anything. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. We just have to rename like all of these variable names. But hey, you know what? It beats having to rename them 20 times over. So yeah, I guess while I'm doing this, I can kind of talk about what exactly this edit label does and why is it so complicated. So I mentioned earlier, like its core functionality is to be able to you know, support, like, handle events or key events. So you press, you know, like L on your keyboard and it needs to know, hey, what does that actually mean? And so it interprets that and says, okay, well, we need to add the, you know, letter L to our current text that you're typing out, and, you know, be able to render that and everything and increase the the caret and all of that. But also you need to be able to do things like, you know, if you hold down shift and pressed over, it starts selecting the text. Or if you drag your mouse over, I don't know if I support that. Maybe, I think I do, but I'm not sure. If you like drag and select text, that's supposed to work. You know, you press delete, that will actually delete the text in front of the caret, if there is anything in front of the caret. If you press backspace, it'll delete what's behind it. And we also have to do things like determine where the caret should be rendered, because, you know, we have all these different characters. They can be variable width, we don't know. So we have to do something like what I end up doing is having a width table which will track exactly how much space each character is taking up, so that way I can very quickly determine where we should have our character or what should be visible. Oh yeah, and there's also like scrolling where only part of the text might be visible. Well, I guess it's scrolling. Like if you type in a lot of text, it will start hiding the text that's not on the screen. Like we don't want to render that, obviously, because it's not, it shouldn't be there. Can't focus. And all of that stuff, it's a lot. It's a lot of functionality. Fortunately, we have a working version here, and we just need to convert it over to our new engine, which we will do now. Okay, so what's wrong with this? There are too many errors for the IntelliSense engine to function properly. That's funny. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Excuse me. Okay, so I know one thing I need to do is include some of these files. We're also going to need at least our render system in here, but I'm sure there'll be more. So all UN32s, which I will just do all at once, need to be converted to UN32T. Saying 24. And then all int32s need to be int32T, which is 39. Nice. Okay, this is alignment. So we're just going to go through this stuff, clean it up. We don't need to have a doing that placeholder text. I don't think we need that placeholder. That actually should be Unicode. Placeholder, where was that? Placeholder, okay, I do say it's Unicode. Good. That should be fine. Using placeholder, if it's not empty, that's good. So for these, like max characters, overflow index, overflow length, I want to set that stuff in here. If I can find it, overflow index, overflow length, max characters. Oh, that's an element attribute, okay. Missed these. That I think I'm okay with. Overflow alignment should be center. Selection index is -1. So it's nice to set these up here. Has focus is false. Numeric only false. Hide characters false. I think some of these are up here. That has focus. I don't think I can set these in here. Yeah. So I actually need to do that. Wrap text. So those are all element attributes. Caret index. I don't think that is. Okay, caret index is 0. How about the timer is 0? Visible is false. scroll timer is 0. I think that just happens by default, so I don't think we need that. Okay, so I believe that's our constructor. Sets everything up properly. This should be good. This is for setting up our attributes, so that's just like pulling over all of the stuff from our style sheet into our attributes, so that way we can properly style this element. And then we have this. Let's rename this to dirty. And then we need to go line by line through this. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. Happy to answer. For anyone new here, I'm working on this game, projectDIG. I just had Nightbot post something. You can check it out if you're interested. Okay, so carrot needs to set the texture. Oh yes, so we actually have a carrot texture. That's right. So what's the carrot in this case? Carrot texture, right? Oops. It says it's Unicode. Wait, what? That's not right. That doesn't make sense. It's a sprite. Oh, I totally read that as a string. This is supposed to be a sprite. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So this is our texture. We can just say texture get, whoops, get resource, and that returns our resource handle for our texture. That's exactly what we need to do. If the size changed, so we update that. I guess we use that later on. Then we need to resize, and we need to say it's dirty. We get the new value. If the text offset has changed, usually this stuff doesn't change, but just set it up like this, set position. So this should be dot position set. Adding multi-lines and multi-carrots for your text box? No, I don't think so. I don't even know what we're going to be using this for yet. Probably the first use is going to be some type of like in-game, you know, command line type of deal. So that way we can, you know, just have something pop out and we can type in like, hey, spawn this item for us, or, you know, do whatever. I don't know what we're going to use it for beyond that. There's multiplayer, so maybe I'll add in a chat box. I'm not sure. Might not. I don't know. Yeah, we might not have chatting in the game. We'll see. Okay, so this is a label. Oh wait, sorry, that's text. So this should just be dot position is equal to offset. Okay, that looks good. And the carrot is basically, yeah, the offset plus 2. Fine. Carrot texture rect. If that changed, we need to set the texture rect. That is this texture rect is equal to this value. We don't need the 2 SFML. Say file naming, character naming. Maybe you can mark on the map with tags. Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably, I guess, I don't know how it's going to work. Yeah, I could definitely see you probably can name your character. Most likely. Maybe you can name the world that you're landing on. Um, and that would be like your world slash save file. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Element. Okay, that's not needed. Okay, so yeah, we're just going through. So again, all of this setup or update attributes. What this is doing is, up here we set up our attributes. So we say, okay, attributes, pull in all of the data from the style sheet and set yourself up. So that way, if like you get moused over, you can properly update the styling, or if, whatever. If something happens, like the state changes, we can appropriately reflect that change in the styling. And then this update style is what's actually, oh, and I remember now I got rid of this. We just now do update style. So let me change that. Yeah, and so update style is actually looking at all these attributes and saying, hey, update it based off of the current state. If this changed, like it's, supposed to change the color based off of if you're highlighting it or something, that's what this will, reflect. All right, it will see that that style has changed and we're checking it here. That's what all these updates are doing. Max characters, let's fix that naming. Substring, that's the subster. My string, that's the size. Yeah, I was using SF string before and they have slightly different function names than the standard. Okay, so full-time, forget what that is. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Hide characters, update table width, we'll get to that later. SF string should just be Unicode. Hidden text, that's for like if it's a password. Hide characters, that's what that's for, is passwords. So we say standard wide string. Okay. So I don't know if that's actually going to work right now. I think I'm just going to comment that out. That string. I think what I'll do is just say value is equal to, for now, I'm just going to put a star. Like, this actually does a bullet. Like a nice little circle, but we'll just do a star for now. We'll come back to that later. Wrap text, wrap text. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is actually supporting multiple lines within it. Yeah. So this is kind of like a paragraph in that case. I might change, I don't know what I want to do with that. We'll look at that later. Comment that out for now. Set fill color. That's this color is equal to selection color. Right? Selection rect. Wait. Oh, that's a rectangle shape. I see. I see. Might change that to be rectangle. Selection rectangle. Or even selection shape. Might work. Set fill color. That's our text. Shadow color. Right, this is uint at. Let's see what this is doing. So this says that the state has changed and the state is currently highlighted. If it's, oh, I see, sorry. It's if the current state is highlighted or if the new state is highlighted, then it's dirty. If the current state, oh no, if the new state is hidden, disabled, or highlighted disabled, then set the focus to false. And then set the state. I see. So that's just making it so that we like properly change the focus or the state. Yeah, so I guess in this case, this is, yeah, just saying if it's highlighted, this is element, state, highlighted, element, state. Here it says if this is hidden or if it's disabled. Oh, whoops, that's wrong. There's probably a better way to do this. Oh, we don't need the highlighted disabled. Yeah, so this is if it's currently highlighted or it's becoming highlighted, so it's changing the highlighted state. I don't know if that's actually completely right now. It might be okay. Hey, Cooler, how's it going? And Amadeus, welcome. Okay, set focus is if the new state is hidden or disabled, then we want to make sure that this is not focused anymore. That sounds good. We might need to come back to this highlighted thing because we're using the bit now, and so it's really like what we want to do is I think see if it's highlighted or if the new one is highlighted. What do we want to do here? We basically want to say if the highlighted bit is changing, right? I don't know. This might be fixed better. Could possibly make this better. I'm not sure yet. We'll come back to it later. Wrap text. So that's for wrapping the text around. So that's multi-line. Yeah, I do have multi-line editing, I think. I don't even know if this works or if I ever used it. That's a good question. But we're disabling that for now. We'll come back to it later. We don't need all of the complexity to start with. Update caret. This is going to just be size. So this says if we gain focus, then say that we gain focus and set the caret to the end of the string. If we lose focus, then we set the selection index to -1 and we try to wrap the text, I guess. And then we say it's 30 if the focus changed. Can overflow is selecting. Get text, that's a Unicode. That's Unicode. This is size. Set text. So this is where we actually change the text. We say set our string, our text, basically to the new text, the new value. We set the caret index to the end of the string. Update the text. set this selection index to -1 and then wrap the text. Okay. So here, if it has focus, we update the caret timer. If that's just for flashing the caret. If the caret is visible and the timer, blah, 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 we just alternate if it should be blinking or not. That's all that does, is blinks it. And we support both the visible time and blink time, so those are separate values. And then we need to update the frame time. Okay, making good progress. We're getting to, like, this is probably the hardest function to fix up. This is the handle event. This is where all of the magic happens, where we're handling, you know, all of the keyboard presses. So yeah, for anyone joining, welcome. Working on this game, projectDIG, 2D multiplayer automation survival sandbox game. I'm developing the entire thing here on Twitch and uploading the VODs to YouTube. And I'll post a bunch of stuff here in a moment. We're working on UI right now, trying to get that functioning. We've made good progress so far, but there's still much to do. Yeah, so we moved from SFML to SDL, so we need to update all the events. So I don't even know like what the text event option is. SDL event, or like, do they have like a text editing? Keyboard text editing composition, text input. Keyboard text input. Yeah, I don't know what here. Keyboard events. So what's the difference between text editing and composition? Key map changed. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that they had that. The port changed. Nice. Play event. Yeah, so I need one of these two. I'm not sure what's what. Maybe we can find out. This is for IME. Dang. That's pretty cool that they have support for that. I don't know if I need that. Definitely not right now, but maybe something in the future. So I think we can just do text input. That's the one that we really care about right now. Is there a way to do stuff like this? Is key pressed? Keyboard support. Get mod state, that might be it. Set mod state. Oh, whoops. I want get mod state. So what we'd want to do is see if it's the L control or R control. kmod. Okay, so what we'd want to do here is say if SDL get keyboard mod state, get mod state is equal to, oh sorry, not equal to say if it has any of these bits, right? Which is kmod, L control, and or the R control. There we go. That's what we want to do. Return true if it's pressed. I don't know why we do that. I forget why we do that. The control stuff. It seems kind of weird, right? If that or that is pressed. Yeah. Okay. I guess I don't like support that or something. Anyways. So how do we get access to start text input? That text input rect is input active. So do I have to call this start text input to be able to support it? Like maybe whenever it gains focus, we do a start text input. That might be what we need to do. It's like up here, this focus thing. So here we'd say on focus, we would do SDL start text input. And down here we do stop. I think this is supposed to be the arg. I think I'm supposed to do this. Okay. Yeah, so I think that might be what I need to do with that. So how about this event? How do I handle this event? Event handling. Let's look at text input. Text editing event. Text input event. Well, that's interesting. That's cool. Set text input rect. That's actually really cool. So we can just say, hey, like, let's say you're typing in something and we want, there's like a preview that would pop up for like, we go to that tutorial, you can see it'll have like a little pop-up like this. We can tell the UI where that should pop up, or tell the OS. That's pretty cool. There's a type and the text. Okay, so that's the text. So text.text. Awesome. So I don't think it likes it because this is not a UN32. Right? I don't know. It's being weird. Maybe I'll wait on that text. I don't know what it's blinking about. It seems like it's complaining about something. Erase. Okay, so this is if we press backspace and we say, hey, if you have text selected, then we need to handle that a special way. Which is we need to delete all of the text between the selection index and the caret index. So the selection index is where you started, caret index is where it ended. And oh, that's the minimum value between these two, and then we take the absolute value of that. So that's basically the length, and this is the first index. Because the selection index, you can select from the back and go forward, or you can go from the front and go forward. So if it's less than, then we need to set the caret index to the selection index. Then we need to set the caret index to 1. So we're just making sure that the caret index is the minimum value at that point. Otherwise, if we don't have anything selected, then what we want to do is say, if we have any, or if we have a caret in front of any characters, so as long as it's greater than 0, then we want to erase the character that is directly behind the caret. And then we decrement the caret. And then overflow index, that's for text that's going beyond what's currently visible. We decrement that as well if it's greater than 0. Yeah, it's pretty complicated. And then lastly, if we're selecting anything and we're inserting some text, then what we want to do is first we want to pretty much do the same thing where we delete the text. We say if we can't overflow, yeah, and then we're like, hey, if we want to overflow, or if we can, we need to change the value of the text to this new string that has erased that. Yeah. Right? It's selecting. Where do we insert? Where do we insert the new character? Oh, it's down here. Yeah, and then we're like, we're making sure that we can overflow or whatever. So basically, like, I have this option where you can say that the text is limited to some amount. Like, oh, you can only do 30 characters and it can't like be scrolling. Like, you know how here you can type in text and it can go beyond what's currently visible. I support the same thing that's called overflowing, but sometimes you can specify and say, hey, you can't overflow. And so I support both of those. So here we do get local bounds, so that I am actually going to need to change. Yeah, and so it needs to check to see how much space you're currently using. Get character size, that's just font size or size. Greater than, wait, what? Oh, that's me being cheap. Yeah. I just say, hey, like the local bounds, the current width plus this, plus one character is, yeah, I might be able to change that and make that better. I know I can. When we have that here, yeah, we can make this better. So this is text. This is text. This is size. Max characters, get value. Okay, so here we need to do something. We need to say font get dimensions for this text. And this will give us a pixel vector, right? Yeah, pixel vector of the dimensions. And then, so that's what this is right here. Dimensions.x. And then we need to also do font get glyph. Technically, what it should do is get the glyph, which is, so we need to say text font. Oh, that's right. This is kind of annoying, huh? We don't have our font at this point. We have to get it. That doesn't work. So this is going to be the event text. And then we also need to add in the kerning as well, which again needs to be our font. I'm just going to say this is our current font. Previous character is whatever's at the end of our text, so it would be text value back, right? That's our back. And then the new character, which is event.text. So we have one problem here. We need to set our current font. Whoops. Which is the font handle. Yeah, whoops. Trying to remember. I think there's a get font. And then we need a font get font face. No. Type handle. Oh, right. This is going to be font get resource. Yeah, this is it's a bit of work here. We might end up having to pull this out. So what is this? This is resource get font. We pass in our font resource. This returns the font resource, and then we can provide our handle to this. So that's our true type font handle, which is what we take. And then we need the font size, which is text dot size. We might be able to, instead of doing this right here, just say text dot font. That's the same thing. It should be updated and set. So that's our current font. And so what this is actually doing here is it's doing saying, hey, get this new glyph that we want to add, and also the kerning between the previous character and this new character. Oh, you know what? Back is not actually going to work. We need to say caret index. We have to insert it at caret index. insert. I wonder if that's right. This might, I think this needs to be -1. I'm pretty sure that needs to be -1. Maybe. I don't remember. Well, we'll find out because we'll either get a crash or we won't. Yes. So this is the new, this is the like requested width that we have. The dimension, yeah, so this could be like an int32t. Which does mean that we need to convert it, huh? Glyph, get glyph. Oh, this needs to be a oh, that's right, it is a pointer. Advanced X. Yeah, this is pretty lengthy here. Oh, what is this? This is character width. Yeah, something like that. And so then we say, hey, if the dimensions plus the character width is greater than the max width, then we can't do that. We consume it. That's what the return true says, is we are consuming that, but we are not actually using it. Yeah. And I think that's it for that chunk of code. I'm kind of tempted to, I think I'm going to do this. Character width, and then split that up. Just to make it more readable. I imagine that the compiler condenses those two down, or it's not a big difference. So this is for mouse button pressed. Mouse button down. And I don't know if we need to do this, but I've been doing also event, and I should probably look to see if this is the case. Wait, let's go to, I think button.cpp. So what part of the game are you coding right now? I am working on the UI, and more specifically, I am working on the edit label, which is being able to type in text into the game and then, like, you know, submit it, you know, press enter and something happens with it. Handle event, here we go. If the button state is pressed, that's what we want. And the area contains the mouse button. Then we want to see if you're pressing shift. That means you are trying to select it. So we need to do that shift thing. That's the same as this. But instead of L control, it's shift. And R shift is pressing shift. Let's rename that is pressing shift. So yeah, let's see here. This is basically just saying, hey, if you are clicking within the UI, then let's check to see if you're pressing shift. If you are, then check to see where the caret was at, and you are going to select to the point of where the caret is at. So I guess what that does is we say, hey, if you're selecting text, then you know, move our caret, but according to where you click, but set our selection index to where the caret's at, so that way we are actually selecting the text. If you click outside of the edit label, then we say that you're no longer focused, which will disable, like, you know, make it so you're not selecting text anymore, and blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. So this is if you press a key. Man, there's so much code. We're getting through this function though. Key pressed. This is return, escape. So SFML SDL has something like that, right? Key press, keyboard event. Yeah. So then it's key dot, what's the key sim, right? Wait, what was the, it's key pressed. So I think we want to also say here that it's pressed. So event.type or event.key state. Is it SDL keyboard event? So it's either pressed or released. So we want to say and it's equal to SDL release or pressed. And then lastly, we can do this stuff. Where are you from? I am from California, Northern California. Welcome, Aber. Switching from SFML to SDL. Yeah, kind of. I mean, well, so again, for anyone who's joined and might not be following along completely, what we're doing is we're pulling over UI elements from my previous game engine for Crea and using that in our new game engine, because I wrote that all of this code a while ago and it's pretty good, and it's like probably 5,000 to 6,000 lines of code or something like that. I don't know exactly how much, maybe that's a bit much. 4,000, it's several thousand lines of code that works well, and it's kind of standalone from the rest of the game. So I'm just porting it over to our new engine, and that is a switch from SFML to SDL. I chose to use SDL just because it's common, it's more commonly used, and I wanted to kind of go the more trodden path, just so that way I don't run into issues as much, and if I do, then they're most likely solved. We'll see if this works out, but yeah. So I want to look at key codes. So let's look for return, enter, keyboard. Yeah, so we should just be able to do that. SDLK. What is this one? Key code and scan code. I see. So we're looking at the key code. I mean, they both work. I don't know why you want to use one over the other, but yeah. So that key sim, and this is going to be escape. So this is probably just escape, SDLK underscore, and then the thing. So if you press return, that's where we want to say, hey, you are submitting this text. We invoke it, we pass in the text that you are submitting, and we say set focus to false, which I believe deletes the text. I think so. If you press escape, then we actually clear out the text and set the focus to false. Here, if you press A and you are holding the control key, yeah, which is up here. What if I should do this then? Oh man, so much text, so much code. Where is that at? Control key. Basically this. But I need to do that in a bunch of places. Okay, we'll do this here. We'll say, yeah, bool is pressing control. So then we can do that, and this is going to be the key sim dot sim, and we want SDLKA. I think that's right. A, yeah. So it's underscore A. So that's for selecting all of the text. So what we do is we say, okay, set the selection index to 0. So that's just, you know, select all text. Control A. We set the selection index to 0. We set the caret to the end of the string. So that's just saying, hey, select everything. If the overflow alignment is right, then we overflow the text. Yeah, so that's just, I think that's just saying, hey, like, you know, go to the end of the string, and if we need to, show the last part of the string. Don't show, like, the beginning of the string. So that's, like, again, you know, if we have, I don't know if I have word wrapping, I think, here, right? No, I don't. So basically, that's if we're right here, and then we select to the end. Well, we're using Control A, but anyways, it basically does this, where it's like, oh, show, you know, to the end. Go to where the cursor's at and show that. That's what that's doing. Overflow, and we'll get to that function in a bit. Is control. So this is the same here, except for it's X. So this is to cut the code. So this is actually going to be cool because we get to use, so this is the clipboard thing. And awesome about SDL is that they have good clipboard support. I believe that eventually, let's actually leave this open. I believe eventually SFML added clipboard support, but for a long time they did not have it. Like, they just recently added it in the last like year or so. So we want to set the clipboard text. So is this a const char pointer? Set, oh wait, it's SDL set clipboard text. That's it. Okay, cool. So we say the start index. Let's fix that. Start index. Is the minimum value between the selection index and the caret. We get the length, which is the absolute value, subtracting the caret from the selection index. We then set the clipboard text to the start index and the length. And then we erase all of that since we are cutting the text. And then let's see here, we set the caret index. We kind of, this is like a common thing we do. We set the caret index to the selection index, and then we set the selection index to -1 because we're no longer selecting. And then we update the text and we say that the text has changed. Seems good. Here, this is like the same thing, but with C, because we want to copy the code now, or yeah, copy it. So we want to do the same, except for I kind of like condensed it down into a single line where we have the start index is right there, and then the length is right here. I wonder if I really should do that. Maybe I won't. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's just copy these two lines. This is fine. Okay, so V is to paste the clipboard. Apparently I have a function just for that. I don't know why. Guess we'll jump to that and see what that's doing. Oh, it's because I think I just did it because it's like a fairly large function. Yeah, I think I'm not going to do that anymore. We can get rid of that function. And then we'll just dump this in here. That huge function. This is a massive function. I think I'd rather just do that. Make it inlined. So this is for pasting. This is V for your. So here I'll put this comment. This is paste clipboard text into. Yeah, I'll just say paste clipboard text. My string substring. What's wrong with that? That should be fine. Oh, it needs the subs. Oh, it wants a C stir. That's what's wrong. Is that, whoops. What's the name of it again? That's the struct. I don't want to say if it's equal to the struct. Right. Keyboard event. What should it be equal to? Oh, it's key down. That's what it is. UI and behavior are pretty darn complex sometimes. Yeah. This is very complex code. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's not too bad as far as complexity goes. It's just there's a lot of, like, there's complexity in the fact that there's a lot you need to do. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, first off, we say, hey, if we are selecting text, we need to get rid of all of the text that was selected, because we are pasting it. That's basically like deleting it. So we first delete that text. And then we want to get the clipboard. So I don't know what that is actually going to give us. So we'll say get clipboard text. And what does this do? Does that return a char pointer? Yeah, it does. Oh, you have to free it yourself. Okay. That's good to note. Char pointer, clipboard text. And so whenever we're done with it, which would probably be like right away, SDL free. Clipboard text, glad I saw that. So we'll probably just copy it over into like a string or something, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe we won't. Maybe we will want to do this at the end. Oh, we return. We'll have to be careful about that. Okay, so what are we doing here? Maybe that's why I put it in a function. Because I wanted to return early. Well, I can always... Yeah, that's annoying, huh? What I have to do is invert that and then put everything inside of this, inside of that scope if I don't want to do it like that. I guess I can. Probably should. Okay, so let's see here. What do? We say if the clipboard is not empty, then we want to replace all of the new line stuff. We just want to kind of like replace. Yeah, we want to standardize the new line basically. Yeah, I think I want to just do this. I think this will be the easiest way. Wait, does it say it's null terminated or... I should use this. It doesn't say if it's null terminated. I'm going to assume it is. Yeah, so that's another thing we should do is just say, hey, and also if we have clipboard text. Like if we don't have any clipboard text, then we don't need to do anything. Yeah, so I think that's all we need to do here. What does the SDL bool, what is that? True or false. I guess that works. Okay. Interesting. So then that means that we technically don't need to even have this check here. Because we know we check it here if it has clipboard text. And so we know it has it. So we can get rid of that scope. So that's nice. So what we do is we copy it over into this Unicode. The reason I want to do that is because it'd be nice to be able to, I don't know if there's a, I don't think there's a replace. Oh, there is a replace. Size. I don't know if that's going to work. I think it replaces specifically a single character. Oh, it takes, oh, okay. Well, that works. Takes the position, the length, the character, yeah. Okay, cool. So that does work. Nice. So we just want to replace that. Does that return a new string? Replaces the portion of the string that begins by copies the string. Okay. So it does mutate it. It looks like you can chain it, so I guess I could do that. So then it says if you can overflow it, then again, overflowing is going beyond, so it like scrolls over. We get the string size, we get the clipboard size. So if those combined is greater than the maximum number of characters, then what we do is we cut off some characters based off of the max size minus the string size. So if we only have, so this is like how many characters do we have left if we are limited. And then we insert the text at that point at the Crea index. Yep, seems good. Otherwise, take the width table. Yeah, so we haven't set up the width table yet. So this is if you can't overflow. Yeah, so if we can't overflow, this gets a little complicated. Get character size. I don't know if this is right. What is that exactly? Get character size. So this is if the max width minus the width table end is less than the size return. Oh, I see. This is just saying, hey, if we don't have enough space for even a single character, then stop. And so this is what we need to actually change this, because I want to have it be more like this now. So this needs to say instead, if the width table is empty, the width table is empty, as meaning we don't have any text at the moment, or if the, I think we just want to say this is greater than or equal to. So basically, hey, if we don't have any text, or if the maximum amount of text, like space that we have left, is more than a size of a character, then we will allow you to add it. So this was like, and actually I think there's a better way to do this now. That's right. That's right. I might be able to do this a little bit better, because I just remembered while looking at this font stuff yesterday, there is a where is that at? Oh, I don't know if it's even in here. It might just be in FT stuff. I don't know where it's at. Basically, there is something in here which is like, here's the maximum amount of space that a character can take up. But I don't remember where it's at. It's not the advanced X. Font info. There we go. This field gives the maximum horizontal cursor advance for all glyphs in the font. That's what we would want. The max advanced width. So what we could do is something like go to our render system, which is where we have all of our font stuff. And then in here have, what does that, that's a float. Get max advance width. For, it's, I think we need to pass in our font. Oh, it should be our font handle. Excuse me. Okay, so we have that. So let's go into here and now say this is going to be a float that it returns, and it's get max event width. And I believe we just need to go to our font manager, get this font, get font info, pass in our font, and then return the max event width. Nice. So now with that, we can actually do this much better and just say, hey, we need to make sure that we have enough space for the maximum size. Get max advanced width. And one thing we could do is actually simplify. So yeah, we're just saying, hey, we need at least that much space. Up here, I was getting this font and we're like, hey, will this character fit? Let's simplify this and just say, so get rid of all of that. Oh, actually, I take that back. We have to keep the current font. We do need that. Yes, we need that. And get the max advanced width for that. So actually down here where I'm doing that here, I need to also pass in the current font. Okay, seems good. I limit the font or the clipboard size to 100. I don't remember why I did that. I guess it's just because I didn't want someone to like copy and paste the whole paragraph or something, like, or lots and lots of text. It's not really made for that. I might change that some. Update width table. So yeah, after we insert everything, we update the width table. And then we say, hey, if this extends past it, we need to cut off. We must remove characters so that it fits properly. So we just start cutting off the characters. So up here, we're like, hey, we need at least space for one. I guess one thing we could do instead that might be better is now that we have this max advance width, we could actually just say, like, what if we did this first? So we have our clipboard size, and then we just say, hey, this is, we need to have enough space to fit the clipboard size times the maximum number of advanced width. Which is kind of a little unfair because some characters might be bigger than other ones, but I think it's okay. It will make it so we can just get rid of this. It's kind of weird whenever you have like one character, and this is something I didn't like about Crea, is that like some of the characters will be smaller, like I is smaller than, you know, O. And so because of, I would use the actual width of the character to determine if you can insert it or not. It would be like if you type in I, it works. If you type in O, it won't work. And it's kind of like inconsistent. I didn't like that. this actually fixes that by us using the get max advanced width. And so yeah, here we know that everything's going to fit, so we can just scrap it. I think that also means that we can get rid of this update table width, because I believe we update it here in the update text. So yeah, that greatly simplifies it all. We're just saying, hey, if we can fit the text, then great, let's fit it. On text change, yeah, so that's all good. Oh man, this just keeps going, guys. Just keeps on going. But you know what? I think this was supposed to be, hold up. Mouse button pressed. Oh, it's for either button press. Okay. But this one over here is specifically for, where is it at? Paste clipboard. Yeah. Oh, that's for the left keyboard. Okay, sorry. I thought it was for the left mouse. Wait, where am I? Where am I? Here we go. Getting lost in this mess. Okay, so this is keysym dot sim SDLK. Does he have like a left? Skip uppercase characters. Left, right. Yeah, that looks good. And the caret index is greater than 0. So that's just we're trying to move our caret over. We check to see if the shift key is being pressed. We have that up here though, right? We have get control. I wonder if I should just like, I think I might just do this. It's up here at the top. Or I think it's only if we have focus, right? We'll just get these two. So this is pressing control. And then it was just over here. Is pressing shift. There we go. Sort of like, we use that in several places. I think it's fine to just do this. Even if we might not be using that. So here we say, oh, if it's not pressing shift. So here, yeah, if you're selecting and you're not pressing shift, then we want to remove the selection. We stop selecting. Otherwise, if you are selecting, wait. You're not pressing shift. Oh, sorry, here it is. If you're not selecting and you start pressing shift, there we go. Then we want to start selecting. And then we move the caret. Yeah. This is pressing control, has encountered a character. Oh, so this is if you do control shift arrow key, then it actually will jump to a word. Has encountered character. Yeah, it basically will jump to a word. It's not super smart. It could be improved a little bit, but it's basically like this, where you can jump around characters. I could probably fix that up some. So this will get the character from the string. Yeah, so it just goes through the characters moving backwards, since we're doing left. looking for the next like space or period, and then once it hits one of those, it will say that it has encountered a character, right? If it's not, yeah. So basically, it first has to hit a normal character, like, you know, alphanumeric character, and then once it has, and then it hits it either space or period, it will then break out and say, okay, you've hit the end of that. So that way you can jump between words. Pretty nice. One sec, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, and then we update the character, or caret, sorry, caret. This is alignment is left. So if it's aligned left, then we're overflowing the opposite way, which is kind of weird. I don't know when we do that, honestly. But yeah. So we need to overflow that way. Then I think this is pretty much the exact same code, but going the other way. So again, this is pressing shift. Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same code where we're looking to see if you're pressing shift or you're selecting or moving the cursor around. So that way you can just like select. So this is like, oh, you are pressing shift and you're selecting that text. And hey, if you're holding control, then you should also be jumping on words. Yeah, it's same code. Probably, maybe it could be refactored. Probably. Just like change the direction. That's pretty much all it's doing, is changing the direction. Like one is minus, one is plus. Oh, we're getting close to the end of this function. Woo. Probably, well, now it's definitely the largest function inside of this new engine. For sure. Delete. So that should just be SDLK delete. Yes. So if you're, that's kind of like backspace, except that it deletes the character in front. So if we're selecting text, again, we need to handle that case where we just delete everything that is selected. Yeah, this code right here, this might honestly be worth refactoring. Like, I think I do that exact code, probably, like, see, here's another place right here. I do that in many cases. I could see that be worth refactoring. Okay, so then if we're not selecting text, we check to make sure that we are not on the last character, because you can't delete any characters if there's nothing in front of it. We don't have new lines or anything. And then we update the text. Say that the text has changed, which technically it hasn't necessarily. If neither of these hit. Yeah, I guess I just was assuming. I mean, like 99% of the time you're going to be deleting something. It's only if you're at the end of the string that you're not actually deleting something. Anyways. So this is if you press the home key. It's kind of like pressing an arrow key, except for it is much more yeah, it's much simpler. Because it just moves to the start. So if you are selecting and you're not pressing shift, we reset that. If you aren't selecting and you press shift, then we need to set this. It's like same stuff basically. It's just as you're moving around, we need to set the index or not, and then we set the caret to the start. This is alignment left. It was this. So this is if you press the end key, which is kind of like the home key, except for it goes to the end. So again, we need to do pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Where now instead of moving to the start, we just move to the end, to the move the character to the last character. Yeah, the last character. Okay. Last, or actually not quite. Okay, so numeric only. That's if we are. This is a numerical only entry. So like, you know, let's say you're entering a quantity of some item or something, then you can say it's numeric only. And what we do is we just say, hey, if it's numeric only, oh, I see. Yeah, if it's okay, yeah. If it's numeric only, then what we do, this is kind of, I forgot about this code actually. Keysem sem. So this is keyboard up or down. SDLK up or down. So we cast it to a string and try to get the value from it. So this is the numerical value. If it's empty, it's 0. Otherwise, we try to get. So this is just right now it's just a string, right? We don't have a lexical cast. Does STD have a lexical cast? To string. Oh, right. There's string to int. That's right. String to long. Yeah, we could just do that. String to int. IDX base 10. Yeah, that's all fine. Okay, so this is just say, hey, convert this string to an integer. And then if you are pressing up, And we want to add 1, otherwise we subtract 1. And then we need to do a toString. std toString. Value, make a string. This is our new string. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I honestly think it would be better instead of doing this thing where we like limit the max width and everything. I mean, I guess we could do that. Another possibility is to actually just say what's the maximum number. That could definitely be useful where we're like, hey, let's add in a maximum value here. I think instead of doing that, I just like I have this on text change and I listen to that and then I check to see if it's at the maximum quantity, and if it is, then I limit it or something like that. But anyways, so instead of doing all of this, so bounds, I mean, I have my width table, right? Why don't I use that? So again, this is going to be that font get max events. Yeah, current font. I think I'm just going to make that available everywhere. So yeah, this just says if our font is greater than the max. Yeah, sorry. If the whoops, get dimensions, get yeah, we get advanced width. There we go. Right. I think that works. Yeah, if this new character being added to it is larger than the max width, then we fail, basically. What I might actually like for this is to say that it's the max width times the new string size. I think that's good. Where's that font at? Current font. Let's put that up here as well. This isn't expensive to really get, so we use it in a bunch of places. Okay, cool. So that works. We then set the string to the new string. If that works out, we set the caret. We update things. Looks good. Mouse button pressed. So this is just if you click somewhere within it. Let's go all the way up over here. Mouse button pressed. So this is if it wasn't already selected. So we didn't have focus. So we're just saying, hey, if you clicked within it, then make it have focus. Okay, and last thing is with the scroll wheel and your numeric only. So if you scroll wheel within this, then we want to handle that. So this is SDL mouse Do they have a scroll? I'm sure they do. Mouse wheel. Scroll timer expired. So this is so you can scroll within a numeric only edit label. So this is the same. We take the delta, so that's, I'm sure, different. I don't know what that's actually going to be. Do they have like a wheel? Okay, there we go. Wheel direction. Set to one of the defines mouse wheel when flipped. Let me look at that direction. Mouse wheel defines. Okay. Let's look at that. Flipped or normal? Okay. Positive away from the user, negative towards the user. I think that makes sense. So I think we just want to do that. Do this toString. So it's pretty much the same function. What we're doing. This is new string. The only real difference is just like a few things. Yeah. We did it! We made it through that function. Jeez. Oh man, that thing was long. Who am I? What am I doing? Okay, again, for anyone joining, working on some UI stuff. Give me just 1 sec. Let me blow my nose. Okay. So we're actually getting kind of close to being through all of this, kind of. It's a lot. So for anyone interested, I can show you what we have so far. Minus, I mean, not for the edit label, but for the UI. I do like UI. Oh, good. Why is this taking so long to compile? I just commented out everything. So that way it doesn't compile it because it's going to fail if it tries. Sucks whenever you have to recompile everything. There we go. Here's our UI. There's a few little issues I need to fix, but yeah. It's pretty cool. Like you can click on this and it moves, and we can drag this window around and enable and disable the debug rendering, which just shows the outline for all of the elements. So yeah, we're working on a edit label, so that way you could like click on it and then start typing, and it would show the text that we're typing. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. Okay. So we probably, I don't know how much longer we have exactly, but not too much longer. We'll see how far we can get with this, but most likely not going, almost certainly not going to finish this today. What's that you've smeared over your face? Skin? That's my best answer. Okay, so this is update caret. We're trying to move the caret position. So first, we need to make sure that our width table is updated, which is down below. We'll update that. Yeah, my camera's a little weird. I don't know. I also am having allergies right now, and so I think like my nose, I just blew my nose. It's like a little flush. But I think my camera's also like weird. And also I think it's my lighting. My lighting's not the best. But I don't actually have anything on my face besides a beard and skin and lots of freckles. Okay, so we're just updating our caret. This is alignment. So we can go over what this code actually is doing. So it says here we update the width table, so we know like the width table is how much space every single character is taking up. So that way if we're like on the 10th character, we know that, you know, the first character is taking up 7 pixels, the next one's taking up 5, the next one's taking up 12, whatever. And so we can add all this up. Well, I think the width table actually does that for us. That adds each one up. It's the sum of all of the previous, or it's the previous value plus the new width. And so then we can figure out exactly where our caret needs to go. If we can't overflow, then we need to support overflowing, where we can like move the text over or whatever. Mighty fine beard it is too, thanks. It used to actually be a lot better, but I destroyed it. I'm growing it back though. I'm trying to at least. But yeah, it was probably like twice as long, 3 times as long. Okay. Let's move on. Update text. If the text, so first we update the caret. If the text is empty, we then set the placeholder. This is just the value is equal to the placeholder. The text is equal to the placeholder or text color. Equal to that. Shadow color. It's equal to that. And then we say we're using a placeholder. So that's like, you know, it might say something like, you know, enter name. And then you click on it, and once you start typing, it will hide that text. That's the placeholder text. Otherwise, if it's not empty, then we check to see if it's overflowing. We update overflowing stuff. We update the text with a specific string if we are not overflowing, right? I think that's the case or something. Yeah. And then if we are using the placeholder, then we need to change it back to not be that. So we need to say, hey, we're no longer doing placeholder stuff, so let's use our normal font color, not our placeholder font color. And let's use our normal shadow color. You look fantastic. Don't undersell yourself. Thanks. Is this my wife? She's always trying to give me compliments. And I'm always shooting her down. Or, I don't know, ignoring them. I don't know. Unicode. Okay, again, let's just say that this is hidden text, just a star character for now. I think I actually need to do that, huh? And then this is value is equal to that. Otherwise, value is equal to this. So that's just like, hey, if you are typing in text and it's hidden characters, like you're typing in a password, then we need to replace that with the star. I got some new glasses so I can look really cool. It's so weird. Yeah. But anyways, I need to get going for the day. Unfortunately, we did not get through this, but we're pretty close. And then we can start playing around with it. So I think tomorrow we should be able to wrap this up. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time. You can see my schedule down below. Again, it's going to be a shorter stream because my friend is visiting and I want to be able to spend as much time with him as I can, but I still want to make sure that I'm keeping up with this every day, at least getting some work done. So yeah, you guys can follow here if you aren't already. Like I said, I am streaming every day working on this project. So this is projectDIG. You can check out my YouTube channel where we have all of the VODs up, or almost all of them, and also some recaps. So if you're new to the stream and you just want to like be able to catch up, if you watch the 2 recaps, that brings you all the way up to where we started working on the UI. And then I also have yeah, there's the game engine information. I have a Patreon. If you want to support me, you can do that. And you can also get access to the engine code and its MIT license, so you can use it for your own projects if you'd like. So yeah, thank you all for joining. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. And like I said, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care.